Hey guys, it's Windy from Windys.Art. Welcome back to my channel. In the last video, I shared do's and don'ts for 6 basic watercolor techniques. If you haven't watched the video, I will leave the link in the description box for you. So in today's video, I will be sharing 8 watercolor fun techniques for beginners. First of all, blow technique. Prepare a straw. If you don't have a straw in hand, you can find a pen like this and remove the refill inside. Then just use this empty tube for blowing pens. This method requires a little bit more water to make it easier to work with. You can also add different colors while the paper is still wet, or use pen brush to guide the water to create the effects you want. This technique is great for background effects as well. Next one, splatter technique. So there are 2 ways to do this. Number 1 is to take 2 brushes and wet one of your brush. Then by gently hitting 2 brushes together, create the splatter effect. The other way is to use an old toothbrush and put the paint on the toothbrush. Then you toggle the brush with your finger like this to splatter paint on the paper. The difference between these 2 ways is that by using toothbrush, you can get smaller splatters, as you can see on the paper. This technique is great for painting a night sky or galaxy. Next, washi tape. So I believe many of you have already tried this method. Basically, you use washi tape to tape out the shape you want or tape out the area where you don't want any paints. Then you put on colors. After the paint is dry, you remove the washi tape. I'm using this paper masking tape from a Japanese company. It has a lower viscosity and is also waterproof on the surface. I kinda like it. The 4th technique, highlight. I usually use all these tools for highlighting. First one is the white watercolor pencil. Then it's 0.5 white pen, 0.8 white gel pen, and 1.0 white pen. Depends on the painting, I choose different thickness pen. By the way, I will leave a list of all the materials I use in the description box. Here I roughly pen out a lip shape and use the 1.0 white pen to highlight the area I want. Normally I highlight the area after the paper is dried, so the highlight looks better and it's easier to put white colors on when the paper is dried. Next, salt technique. I recommend using sea salt or coast salt because they don't melt easily. I'm using the fine salt today because that's all I have. After painting out the base color, you sprinkle some salt on it when the paper is still wet. Then brush off the salt after it's dried. Because salt will absorb the water, it creates a spatial effects. Next, alcohol technique. Pen out a layer you want, then use a dropper to drop alcohol on the paper while it's still wet. It'll create a fantasy grain like this. You can use a cotton stick instead if you don't have a dropper, and use it the same way to drop alcohol on the paper. Next one is crayon resist. So use crayon to draw some shape on the paper, then pen out the colors you want directly. The area where you draw with crayon won't work with any pens because of the oil and water separation. This technique is useful in a lot of ways, such as the pendants on the clothes and lights for night buildings. It's a fun, creative way to enjoy painting. Lastly, flowing technique. So starting by putting colors on, Notice that it does require a little bit more water. Then lift up the paper and slightly tap it so the pen flows down naturally. It's similar with blow technique by using the watercolor mobility to create the spatial effects. I have seen some abstract painting using this method, and they are all quite interesting. That's all for a watercolor fun techniques. I hope it's helpful. Feel free to leave a comment below and let me know if you have any questions. If you like my video, please like and share with your artist friends. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel and ring that bell so you won't miss out on my weekly art videos and tutorials. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye!